Hi, Ryan Michael Galloway here with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com. We've been talking about you as the producer producing your own recordings. And last night we were talking about a lot of information around actually just being the project manager, that part of being a record producer. Now there's a couple of things that a record producer could also think about, any project manager could think about. There's a number of disciplines. We'll talk about some of the things that affect you the most in this kind of a project. One is communication. Communication is perhaps right up there with the top two key factors in making a project a success. Now, if you're somebody that does not do well answering your emails, and somebody that does not do well making phone calls and doing outbound emails and that kind of thing, you're not cut out for this. Get somebody else to do it, because you have got to communicate better than probably anybody else on the team. Communicate about what? Well, how about rehearsal time? What about arguments that happen between musicians and arrangers about how the thing's going to be put together? What about communicating around recording schedule and who's supposed to be where and when? What about keeping everybody excited and enthused? What about perhaps even running some kind of social networking site, a private one, or something around a Facebook page or a MySpace page, or better yet, I would go out, one of the things I'm going to do on my next project is I will set up a name page, where a name site, if you will, which is kind of like your own mini Facebook site, not page, but whole site, where you can upload stuff and you can have discussion forums. And I'm going to get people to help me develop my next recording project. So all that takes a tremendous amount of communication abilities, not just written, by the way, but spoken, and the ability to kind of smooth over fights and negotiate and get everybody all on the same page. Get them to show up 15-30 minutes ahead of time, not bring any alcohol to your session or drugs if that's important to you, so that things go smooth and we actually get something done. We don't just sit around going, whoa. Although I heard Chuck Rainey, bass player for Steely Dan, among many others, say, here's the thing about drugs. He said, if you're going to be on drugs, then rehearse on drugs and play on drugs. And if you're not going to be on drugs, then rehearse straight and play straight. Says, try and mix those up. It doesn't work. So on my sessions, I don't want alcohol or drugs on my sessions, because I just want everybody playing the best they can and to be tight. And if they need to be stoned, it's real hard for me to make an exception. It's happened, but I don't like it. So just my own humble opinion on that one. Another thing that we might be able to control is risk mitigation. Risk is something to think about. Do we have a potential problem? What if our drummer doesn't show up? What if a key person's sick? What are we going to do? If our schedule is extremely important, then we have backup people involved and ready and rehearsed. If our schedule is not all that critical, then our reaction to that situation would be that we don't worry about it. We just push the schedule when that happens and let everybody be healthy. So those are some things. Do we need understudies? Do we need backup players? Do we need a backup recording studio? What about, is there anything about the digital files that we're creating being at risk? Do we need any special backups created after every session so we don't lose anything? Does the studio have more than one engineer that can come in and actually run what we're trying to do? And so that's a couple things to think about. I am Ryan Michael Galloway, and We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com.